Hi, my name is Alex, and I'm excited to share the latest SKYMO radio mount with you today. I have one here so we can take a look at it. And this one is going to fit the 2019 to 2023 Silverado and Sierra models with the full center console. Now you have to be careful because there were a couple different console configurations and console versions available, especially in the 2019, 2022, and 2023 model years, depending on if you have 1500, 2500, etc. The easiest way to identify if this one is going to work with your console is to look at the space between the two cup holders. In order for this mount to work, you have to have the cup holders that go side to side, not front to back, but side to side, and it has to have the square pocket between the two cup holders. The good news is it's pretty easy to identify this square pocket, and though there are some variations of a kind of similar console, there aren't really any similar square pockets like this that are going to trick you or trip you up. So if you have this square pocket, your model year is 2019 to 2023, this radio mount is going to work for you. It's 20173A, that's the part number on SKYMO.com. Let's crack this open and take a look at what you get. Here's what you'll have inside. Three main components. You'll have a box with hardware, you'll have what we call a mounting plate, and you'll have your mount base. The mount base will be labeled with the part number here. So let me unpackage some of this stuff and then we'll take a look at what the components actually look like. Okay, so here is what your mount base looks like for this vehicle. This is going to fit on the console sidewall on either the passenger or the driver's side. This is your mounting plate. This is going to be secured to one of these sets of holes, and then you're going to secure the radio bracket to the mounting plate using these slots. Important to note that this mounting plate does not replace the bracket that came with your radio. You're still going to need that. This is just an interface between your radio bracket and the mount base. And then lastly, we have a couple packs with hardware. The first thing you're going to want to grab is the hardware pack with the 1/4 inch hardware. It'll have 2 button head cap screws, 2 square nuts, 2 washers. I did also forget to mention that in your hardware box, you will also have an Allen key, and that's what you're going to be able to use to tighten your button head cap screws. And that 1/4 inch hardware is what you're going to use to attach your mounting plate to your mount base. You have 4 different options for what height you want your mount base to be at. So kind of what I'd recommend doing is holding this in place and just kind of mocking this up, seeing where you're going to want the radio. Do you want it higher up? Do you want it lower down? Everyone kind of has a different preference. So you can figure out which holes you want, and of course you can always change this later if you want. For the demonstration today, I'm just going to go from the second set of holes from the bottom. To attach your mounting plate, all you have to do is drop the square nuts into their place here. Some of the holes for the square nuts in the backside here are deeper than others, and if you have any trouble kind of getting that square nut in there squarely so it's sitting properly in there, one of the things that can help is just threading it onto the button head cap screws a few turns, dropping it in there, and then unthreading it, and that helps quite a bit if you're having trouble getting it to sit flat. So the next thing is to just line up your mounting plate right here. For this, you're going to want to make sure that the 2 flaps on the mounting plate are set off from the mount base. And the whole reason for that is just to give your bolt heads a place to sit in here. Throw a washer on, throw your button head cap screw on, and we'll just use that provided Allen key to tighten these down. Alright, here we are. Simple enough, right? That's kind of what your whole mount assembly looks like. Now let's go to the step where we're going to attach the radio bracket to this mount assembly. For this step, you're going to use your other hardware pack. This has number 10 hardware in it. It will have 2 number 10 screws, 2 number 10 lock nuts, and 4 number 10 washers. And all you're going to do is run these through and attach it to your mounting plate like so. For this step, you are going to need a Phillips head screwdriver and either an adjustable wrench or 3/8 wrench or socket. These 2 items are not provided with the kit, so you will have to bring those to the party yourself. And there is what your assembly looks like now. So same as it did before, except now we got the radio bracket attached here. And then it's just a simple matter of getting your radio bracket attached to or excuse me, getting your radio attached to its radio bracket. So I'll do that real quick. So again, just to reiterate, this bracket here that I'm attaching the radio to is the one that came with the radio. It is not provided as part of the radio mount kit. And once this is tightened down, you are good to go and ready to install. This is what the whole assembly looks like at this point. Mount base, mounting plate, OEM radio bracket, and radio. All right, so this mount is going to fit on the console sidewall. It's going to snap right into place, and it can go anywhere along this section on either the driver or passenger side, just depending on your preferences. To install it, all you have to do is press it right into place. All right, and that's it. Now this mount is held in place with a little hook that latches to the underside of the console. So to remove it, all you have to do is put some outward pressure on the bottom of that hook and it's going to release. When you have a radio installed on it, the easiest way to do that is to just grab the underside of the radio, put some outward pressure, and it'll pop up and off. Like I mentioned before, you can install this radio front or back anywhere along this length of console here. If you want to install it further forward, you can do so. And again, some outward pressure and it pops right off. Now if you'd prefer to have your radio on the driver's side, you can do that as well. Same installation process. This radio is probably a bit big for this, but I do see people with smaller radios posting review photos sometimes for our other full console mounts where they've installed the radio on the driver's side. So if it's not interfering with your driving and it's safe, you can install it over here as well. And similar process for removal. You just put some outward pressure on it and it pops right up and off. So that's really all there is to this radio mount. I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. It stays securely in place, really easy to install, really easy to remove. Like I mentioned before, you do have height adjustability. So the nice thing about this, you can adjust your radio up or down. You can adjust it front to back. You can put it on the left side of the console. You can put it on the right side of the console. There's a lot of flexibility with this. And your mounting plate too is sized. The slots in the mounting plate are sized, so this can accommodate radio brackets, large or small. So even if you have a smaller radio, this is going to work for you. I get asked a lot if it can hold heavy radios, and yes, it sure can. It's a pretty versatile mount. If you want to check it out, it's going to be available on SKYMO.com. I will put a link in the description. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave me a comment or reach out via email. I'll do my best to answer them, and thanks for watching.